1, episode 8. To me, Apple TV hit show Murderbot. We're deep into the seas. We have completed 80% of season 1. I did the math real quick.
Show your.
I did the math.
Show your numbers.
There are 10 eps.
Okay.
We have watched 8 of them.
Mm-hmm.
I divided 8 by 10.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, is that it?
And then I multiplied it by 100 to get the percentage.
We're gonna have to take this offline. I'm not sure I follow.
That's some early maths for you kids. How'd this ep start? It didn't start with Labibi. She's gone.
How did it start? They were heading back to get David Dashhound some help.
Do we want to talk about your caterpillar sex facts first?
We can start with that, sure.
I feel like that was the last episode, and we got into it a little bit.
But I'm gonna have to correct you, and I hate to do this
Centipede?
on a live. Yeah, centipede. If you want to know about how caterpillars have sex, you're gonna have to vamp for a little bit
while you do the research.
Yeah.
So you did some research live, but then you spawned some more information on me when we were hanging out the other day
at the content heavy offsite.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
heavy offsite.
I learned about this while we were sitting, but I didn't bring it up because it wasn't really pursuant to the sex that they were having. But there's 2 ways a centipede can have intercourse, and I'm not going to use the scientific terms. I'm going to tell you in layman's terms because it'll make more sense, and I don't remember the scientific terms.
Gonopod?
This centipede penis, please. The sex that they had in the show is what we described with the gonopod.
Some rapping and some...
And it's more akin to the way mammals would have sex, yes. I.e. there's a mounting, a vigorous back and forth, and an insemination, and a... hopefully a nice dessert or a cigarette or something. And then it's...
hang sesh afterwards?
Yeah, and then a little I'll call you, and then off you go. But that's not the only way that centipedes have sex.
Another way they can do
There's
it.
another way.
Now, are there different species of centipedes that choose different ways, or do they just, in general, they can do whatever they want?
I'm not super prepared for follow-up questions.
Sorry,
I don't know.
Keep them to a minimum.
I don't know if it's different species of centipedes, or if it's like humans, where sometimes we do hand jobs, and sometimes we have penis and vagina, and sometimes it's butt stuff. I don't know. I'm not sure. But the other way that they can do it is that the woman will loudly announce that she's ready for intercourse via pheromones. So she'll do a big stinky fart, and all the male centipedes in the vicinity will smell that, and they'll make a decision about whether they want to hop to or not, or if they're busy eating a sandwich. And the ones that want to hop to will come over and
show them their moves.
First blow a load. I think the sequence is important because first they'll blow their load, and they'll spill their seed upon the ground to get biblical, and then at that point they'll do a little dance, and then the female will pick out who did the dance that she likes the best, gather up that centipede's jizz, take it to wherever she wants to go with her eggs. She looses the eggs, and then she's got this big wad of semen that she can lick, and then lick her eggs until the point of insemination.
Quick cue.
Mm-hmm.
Is this how your children were born? I guess I shouldn't say born. Is this how?
Yeah, born is how they were conceived.
Of the 2 methods, which did you choose? No. Okay, on to the episode.
What I'm leaving out from my experience is God smiling upon our love.
Oh, okay, and the light shining from the window.
Yeah, exactly. So that's
Being
one
blessed
difference.
By the Lord. We started with them heading... Yes, they were looking over the... they were looking from a ridge over their habitat.
Mm-hmm. They've returned...
Yep.
because David Dashhound is hurt and they need the medical supplies that are back at base.
And he's looking much worse this ep than he was last ep. He's looking bad. There's some sort of something in his leg from Labibi's shot, and it's not helping him out. Murderbot does not want to go down there. He thinks it's a trap. He shows them that he's left a transceiver to steal data from the cameras and whatnot while they were gone. And they watch it, and we get some characters.
Some newly introduced characters, Labibi's friends, who we think are going to be antagonistic. They've been positioned faceless up till now as antagonists this whole time. Labibi does have a menacing, so I don't remember exactly which, they're coming, something like that. So she frames them up in this menacing type of way. But they know there's a camera, and so they deliver a message to the crew, which is very much a, hey, we're both stuck here. You scratch my back, I'll scratch your back. Let's make a little bit of a trade.
And they offer up a peace agreement and say, hey, we'll leave your habitat and we won't attack you. That's our promise to show you that we're good for our word. Sec unit does not believe this, but they have to take him down there, so he goes down, he clears the space, they go in, and they get him in the med bay.
Mm-hmm.
Then our doctor, whose name I continue to forget, does a remote surgery.
Yeah, I mean, if we were doing a podcast about the show, we would learn the names of all the characters.
You would think that would be on our list of things to do.
But I'm not gonna.
So the doctor goes to pull this thing out. She goes to administer some painkillers, and our boy David says, no, I'm not doing that. That's how it's all started. Mm-hmm. And this goes back to our early story before the mission, where he talked about how he was basically constantly drugged.
Addicted to drugs, at the point of suicide. That was just one ep ago, wasn't it? It was the kickoff of
the beginning of last ep.
Yeah, so he can't do the painkillers because they'll send him down a potential drug-fueled spiral.
At this point, Sec Unit offers to plug into him and turn off all of his pain receptors, essentially, because he's an enhanced human, and Sec Unit thinks he can do this. They make a joke about, you better not have learned this from...
Oh, from one of the shows.
Moon, what's it called?
Sanctuary Moon.
Sanctuary Moon, and he goes, I didn't. And then in his head says the different show that he learned this from, an episode. And he also takes this opportunity to dive into David Dashhound's head. And that pretty much clears up any of my original possible theory that he was also a Sec Unit of some sort, because his brain is very discombobulated as a human brain would be, and like just kind of thoughts and theories. He accidentally says, "Why won't you love me?" out loud, because he's plugged into David Dashhound's head, and he's in a dream where he's confessing his love to the captain of the mission. And then him thinking he has the upper hand and he's getting to ref around in this dude's head as the surgery's finishing up successfully, I might say. David Dashhound takes a moment to dive into a memory of Murderbot's, finds out that he calls himself Murderbot, and that he may or may not have been responsible for killing a bunch of miners.
I think 57, if memory serves.
Sounds about right. Glad you remember that and not the name of the characters of the show.
I'm a numbers guy. I know numbers.
That makes sense. At this point, they do not trust Sexbot very much.
Yeah. David Dashhound is horrified.
Yep. And he's yelling all this out loud, of course, to the other crew members.
So he's deep in his head, and he has all this experiences from plugging into Murderbot that he's spouting to the rest of the crew. The rest of the crew is very much horrified. They're not waiting for any context around this. Not that could necessarily be justifiable, but they are immediately over onto David Dashhound's side, who's been suspicious of Murderbot the whole time. So now we've got a crew that is pretty much singularly united.
He does say that's
Murderbot.
not why I'm called Murderbot, and then doesn't go on to explain why he's called Murderbot, and doesn't do a very good job of explaining how he doesn't actually remember killing all these people, and he's not sure if he did it. Or if that was an implanted memory, I think he suggests it may be. But he doesn't actually have a good memory of that in particular.
Did you think that David Dashhound orchestrated this surgery? Do you think he saw, not that he got himself shot or anything, but once he was back in the bay, do you think he saw this as an opportunity to get inside Murderbot's head?
I don't think he saw it as an opportunity until the surgery was, like, they were in the middle of the surgery. And I think he probably saw it as an opportunity once Secbot started rooting around in his head. He probably realized that and was kind of...
He says, what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
While he's doing this, I might as well do this. And he did. That's my theory. I don't think it was, like, planned ahead of time.
He is that type of character, though.
That would be a long game.
That would be well within the character that they've drawn up for him. I found myself wondering in the moment, at what point did he decide to root around in his brain? Because
I think he's a little bit less of 4D chess, though, and a little bit taking any opportunity that he has. I think he's an opportunistic character. I don't think he's unintelligent, but I haven't seen much to make him think that he's, like, planned something 4 steps ahead.
Yeah, I wonder. I
could see it.
That was a thought I had. And he got there pretty quickly. He got immediately to the murder spot. I mean, there's tons of...
He knew what he was looking for.
Yeah, there's lots of episodes of TV in there and other stuff. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff up in Murderbot's hard drive, and he got immediately to...
I think he had a goal very early on. He knew what he was going for. They kind of all yell at the security bot, and security bot goes off and kicks rocks like a toddler. And he's kind of grumpily thinking about how he could just go on the rest of his life watching TV. There's a nice little 10-second scene where he imagines himself rotting away in a tree just watching TV. And then he realizes he hasn't downloaded enough TV to do that. But it does seem like that he wanted that pretty badly. He eventually goes back with a plan.
Well, from his perspective, he is being... is he being betrayed by the rest of his crew member? I mean, ostensibly, when he did these murders, the 57 murders, he was not Murderbot to the robot-human person. He was just the robot person. So
just malfunctioning bot?
I mean... Does that mean he was responsible for these things that maybe he was programmed to do?
But I guess it depends. Were the miners dying shortly after that first scene we seen in the first episode, or was it previously? Was it before that?
From the way he talked about it, about how, like, there's a degree of confusion in his head about the circumstances around it. I read it as this was all pre-sentience.
That's what I think as well, which would give him some it gives him an excuse, if you will.
Yeah. You ever wake up and your wife yells at you for something that you did in a dream?
No. I love this story, but no.
This happens to me on like a monthly basis. I get a big ration of shit for something that my dream self in her head, not even in my head. I'm not even cooking up this particular gazpacho. Something that dream me has done in wife's brain, I will then be in trouble.
To dream you and like tried to work it out with him, tell him to knock it off.
If I have any sentence in the dream plane, I'm trying to like fly and stuff like that. I'm not trying to like negotiate with my evil twin inside her.
Have you ever tried to a lucid dream?
Yeah, but like lucid dreaming, you're
That's
supposed
just
to.
where you like remember it, right?
You have to remember. You have to do things like you wake up and then you write your dreams immediately. And I wake up a bunch during the night. And also, you're not supposed to have any alcohol because that can. I'm having a beer right now, so I don't get a lot of opportunities where I'm like, yeah, I want to write down my dreams as soon
Yeah.
as I wake up, and I don't want to have
I
a beer
don't
while
have a
I'm watching
dream
my
journal
stories behind
as
the.
much as fun as that might be.
I love the idea, but
I do love the stories of people who talk about how they realize they're dreaming and then they can control their dreams. I don't think that's ever happened to me. I think I've realized I'm dreaming in my dreams before, but pretty rarely. I've definitely had the like I wake up and like, man, that dream was way cooler than the real
yeah,
world.
than what I'm about to do.
Yeah, I do not want to wake up.
But I think there's a degree to which he should rationally, assuming we're
does.
reading
I
this
think
correctly, he should feel wounded. He should
is-
feel upset. He should feel
Yeah.
betrayed. He's saved their lives more than once now. He's growing to enjoy interacting with them as much of a curmudgeon as he's pretending himself to be. He is valuing their time, and he's growing fond of them, and now they see him as something completely different, whereas he's cresting one way and leaving this killer robot past behind, and now they just learn about this for the first time, and yes, rightfully they're horrified, but it doesn't jive with the betterment of the sentient self that our robot friend is trying to do.
I think it's fair to say that maybe it was a different person altogether, like before he gets that sentience, right? Like, if it really is before he broke like his programming, then it's possible he committed those murders under command.
He was just following orders.
Yeah, we don't know.
That's
that
what
yet,
you just said.
I did not say it like that.
You just said-
I did not say it like that. Robots and Nazis are not equivalent yet, though Mecha Hitler apparently is a thing now, so maybe we're almost there. But I think there is some liability you can take off of whatever these murders were, because there is something different about that person. It's a very good debate if you talk about like people who have amnesia, right, and who may have committed crimes at some point in the past, but now they're like a completely different person. So I think that's an interesting point. I don't know if he feels betrayed as much as he just feels annoyed that all the actions he's done for this crew have said completely different than the way they treat him.
See, you're saying annoyed, and I'm saying betrayed. You are saying he's a little bit put off. I'm saying he's developing a deep emotional attachment to his crew members.
Yeah, I feel like betrayal would require them to like feelings of betrayal require them to like wrong him in some horrible way. Like, I think he's impatient with the fact that they keep on like going back and forth and being like, "You're a crew member. We're terrified of you," and they're always sending these signals like this will be okay. We can talk about this. We're a circle of understanding people, and then whoa, right? But I wouldn't put it on the betrayal level as like they're ready. Like, if they were having conversations about giving him over to the other people, right?
Yeah.
Because he's what that would feel more betrayal.
Sure.
But I think we're circling the same drain in that he has so far done nothing wrong except for maybe hide a few things from this group. Some selective pieces of his past, and who hasn't done said thing.
Who hasn't killed 57 miners?
No, not that part. It was only 53.
The other people on the video, they're bad, right?
Yeah, they're definitely bad. Which
Yeah.
is funny.
They're obviously bad.
I love the head gang member. I don't know the actress's name, but she was a minister in the very popular Netflix Korean grocery store show that you have not watched, but me and my wife have watched. And then she was also in something else you and I have watched recently, but I can't remember what it is. So I'm glad I brought this up. But I'm happy that she's in it, and I'm excited to see more of what happens with them. We know that they work for a corporate company. it's clear that what they're looking for is this technology that the other group found that is alien technology, I believe, that you're not supposed to touch, or like remnants of some old alien civilization that is something special and supposed to be protected when you find it. But they probably aren't going to respect that. But they don't know where it is. That's what they want from this group. So we've established that fact. That was all we really kind of learned this episode as far as that goes. I feel like there's something above them, though.
Yeah. They're bad, and they're taking orders, and it's going to come to a head. We had 2 eps left. Where did we leave this ep? What was the final?
He came back in. He said, "I have a plan." And they all
went, that's right.
Ah! Because he said it.
Yeah.
But it did seem like his plan was maybe a trap for them. At least that's the way they lined it up, is that he was going to set them up so that he could get off the planet. So maybe he's working a little betrayal of his own. But what I like, my theory here about something bigger is somehow Secbot is wrapped up in the mythos of this other thing. I don't think he's just this bystander robot who happened to be sentient. Like, something in his past is going to be related to what they're looking at.
A long lost love.
I'm thinking more he's found some sort of alien technology in the past, and that's possibly why he was able to break free from his programming. It seems different than the security bots in the past that have just gone on rampant murder sprees. Right? Like him breaking his code seemed less of him malfunctioning and him, like, as we've talked about many times, trying to find sentience.
Yeah.
But I feel like Hollywood style, his past will be wrapped up into this somehow. Maybe he used to run with this crew.
Yeah, I could see that. Well, we got 2 eps left.
And another season coming.
Stay golden.
Stay gold, Pony Boy.